Today, we're going to talk about unconditional love. And I will give you 5 simple steps you can use to embody that energy so you can finally live in the vibration of unconditional love all the time. So you've probably been on a spiritual path for a while, learning, meditating, expanding, exploring, right? But despite all these practices, you might feel that you're missing this glue that holds everything together, that something that gives you this deep sense of truly being seen, truly being supported, truly being loved. And the truth is that embodying unconditional love frequency changes everything. It is that very glue that you might have been looking for. It's not some fluffy concept. Embodying means you become the frequency match for the vibration of that unconditional love. It's actually something that your body vibrates at. It's the secret sauce to this profound healing, to feeling like you belong, to showing up as your true worthy self in all the circumstances. And the best part is you don't need to do anything to deserve it. It's already your birthright. You don't have to do anything to earn this energy. It's already yours. You just need to allow yourself to align with it and embody it, become it. Okay, so imagine feeling deeply supported no matter what life brings, feeling divinely guided and truly, truly connected, knowing that you're never alone, that you're surrounded by this amazing support, but knowing this with absolute certainty, not just hoping that it's there, feeling so aligned with your soul self that you navigate every circumstance with ease, with grace, and feel aligned, supported, guided, and certain in your ability to perceive everything through the lens of unconditional love. Today, I'll take you through 5 actionable steps to tap into and embody unconditional love so that you can access it and live in that vibration all the time. We'll tackle common misconceptions, uncover what's really holding you back, and help you step into the powerful energy that is your birthright of unconditional love. So by the end, you will feel clear, you will feel supported, you will feel divinely aligned. So, ready to dive in? Let's go. We'll start with the step 1, connecting to divine love frequency. Most people think that unconditional love frequency is something that feels nice, something that feels safe. So that's already a misconception, and I just want to clarify that because nice and safe are not unconditional. Those are already dualistic perceptions of nice versus bad or safe versus dangerous, right? You can see the duality in this. So first, you need to take love out of duality into the state of oneness. Love is. It just is. And of course, you might believe that you're supposed to understand love somehow in order to feel it, as if it's something that you can figure out with your logic, like if you can only understand that, then you can feel loved all the time. But here's the thing, unconditional love is not a concept, it's an experience. So understanding is not really the key to unconditionality. The biggest trap here is staying stuck in your head instead of feeling experiences in your body. Because unconditional love meant to be anchored all the way into your material form, which is the body you're living in. What you really need is the self-mastery shift that fuels your fluid levels. Your energy field has structural levels and fluid levels. So the fluid levels would be your emotional body, your astral body, and your unconditional body. These are the energy places within which you can perceive literally and energetically that frequency of unconditional love and let it flow through you. Those 3 specific energy bodies. Unconditional love is like a heartbeat of the universe. It resonates through the entire universe, you included, in that universe. So you are within the pulse of unconditional love. It connects us all. The people, the animals, the minerals, stars, galaxies, atoms, subatomic, quantum particles, all of it. So when you plug into that frequency, you tap into the endless source of nourishment and support. So try this. Breathe into your heart space. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this warm, pearlescent, light, pink energy filling your chest. Think of it like inside the seashell, this beautiful pearlescent pink light. Good. Now with each breath, let it grow, wrapping you in a cocoon of love. Let that pearlescent energy spread all around you and wrap you in this beautiful pearlescent light. Gently remind yourself, I am worthy of love. I am love. I resonate with divine love. I am loved by the universe, by my guides, by God's source. I allow this love energy to flow through me in this orgasmic fashion, like a divine rapture of love and peace from God within me. Breathe in and out. Feel this beautiful pearlescent light all over you. Now visualize this interconnectedness. Picture this love as a fluid web of white and pink threads connecting you and everything, everyone, everything there is in the universe. And just be in that state. These beautiful, thin, web-like patterns everywhere connecting you and everything. Breathe in and out. Good. Good job. So what you just did is you align yourself, you calibrated yourself a little bit to the unconditional love frequency of the universe. So there's certain things here to watch out for. Skipping this foundational step, this inner alignment to the pearlescent light. So many people overthink this or dismiss this. They think, oh, that's too simple. Who cares about imagining some pink light or something? And they dismiss it because they don't know how to get the result of this feeling. So they chase after feeling and don't do the actual work. They think like, oh, okay, thinking nice thoughts, that's what it is about. Like, oh, now I'm loving. That is not what's going to get you into the actual frequency of unconditional love. So you got to actually feel the divine peace, divine grace, divine rapture of love energy. This is a good start by simply visualizing this pearlescent light that we just did, like inside the seashell, inside your heart chakra, and letting yourself experience that in your physical body through all the cells, in your emotional body, astral body, and unconditional love body. The more you do that, the more you get yourself calibrated to habitually be aligned with that frequency. This is where it all starts. If you skip that step, it doesn't stick. You just end up with concept of, whatever love you think is. And then as soon as you get triggered, you fall right out of it. So give yourself time and space to habitually every day, like make it a habit, to tune into that energy. Maybe it's a few seconds before you go to sleep. Just give yourself 60 seconds to stay in that energy so you fall asleep in that energy. Maybe it's in the morning when you get up. Give yourself a moment to just breathe in that light, okay? And if you're curious about the energy anatomy, like I was referring to different levels, and you want to understand your different energy bodies and chakras and how to activate them, how it all relates one to another, how to clear blockages and heal yourself, then definitely get my book, Mission Alpha, The Wise and Passionate You. Mission Alpha is a bestseller book that I've written years ago, and it's still this ultimate reference manual that you wish you had at your birth, that somebody just gave you that and said, okay, this is how you're meant to function. So you understand all the dynamics within your energy bodies. It's packed with 300 pages of insights. It fully decodes all the mysteries of your energetics. It empowers you to become the master of yourself, your energy, and your life. So definitely check it out. The link is in the notes, okay? Now we are at the step 2 of embodying unconditional love. That one is about embracing self-worth and self-acceptance. Most people are tempted to think, well, when I get whatever it is, fill the blank, done, then I will feel worthy because, I've accomplished this. So now I'm proven that I'm worthy. Or I will feel worthy once I fix myself. Because then unconditional divine love from God's source can finally rain on me. I need to prove that I deserve it. So I'm going to do, and try to be a good person all the time. And then I'm going to prove that I deserve unconditional love from the universe. Or a lot of people think if others think that I'm enough, then I believe that I'm enough and I'm worthy of divine love thing. So you're looking for something to be reflected to you from other people in order to believe that you're good enough essentially for that love frequency. Sounds familiar? You probably recognize some of those things within yourself. The belief that your worth depends on your accomplishments, approval, some imagined perfection state is one of the biggest blocks to embodying unconditional love. So if you're falling into those specific patterns, recognize that that is actually part of the reason why it might be so hard for you to feel that very energy that you're craving to feel so much. Most common misconception here is believing that worthiness is something you earn through the right behavior or fulfilling someone's expectations or achieving results or being liked by other people rather than something that you actually are. Okay? This is a very important point. What you really need is to shift the perspective on yourself. No one else can tell you you are worthy. You have to claim it. Claiming worthiness and unconditional love means that you have to want it, believe that it's possible for you to be worthy, and decide it is so for you. And your worth is not tied in how good you've been, like the right behavior, or how much you have accomplished, the typical if I do this, then I something can love and receive and whatever. It's not connected to what you look like socially either. So how much you're liked doesn't really matter to the universe. What matters is that you're open and aligned and that you internally wanted it, believed it's possible, and decided that you are worthy. That's how you receive that amazing energy. So the truth is here that your worth isn't something to earn. It's something you remember. It's a frequency that naturally there for you, but we might have forgotten how to fall into that energy naturally. We fell out of it because of all of our incorrect beliefs that are disharmonious. So it's more of a remembering process than anything else. Here's how to embody worthiness. So first, you need to shift your narrative. Worthiness isn't about achievements. It's about being. You can say to yourself something like, I am worthy because I exist, because I am. And then actually follow this as if you believe it throughout your day. Even if you don't really feel it first, but if you allow yourself to keep repeating it almost like a mantra, I am worthy because I exist, I am worthy because I am, it will start to feel naturally with practice. And that will start to rewire your narrative in your subconscious. Another thing you can do is release judgment. Obviously, stop measuring yourself against impossible standards. Let go of the what's wrong with me kind of constant checking. Notice like if you do something and then you go into like, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, stupid me. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. All that is actually a way to block the energy of support that can come to you from God's source. Instead, celebrate your humanness. Okay? Laugh if you did something silly. Oh, look at me, silly me. Think of it like a child, right? If the child falls, we don't say, oh, you're stupid thing, you can't walk upright. We say, oh, isn't that cute? Oh, adorable. Let's fix the mess you just created and move on. That's kind of how you want to approach yourself. Proactive, still going in a direction of obviously self-improvement and becoming more self-aware and attempting to stay within conscious patterns. But if you fall out of them, do not judge yourself harshly. Think of it just like celebrating your humanness. That is the best approach here. Replace with kindness, with acceptance. Forgiving yourself is a sign of maturity. And by the way, notice when the negative judging voice is not your own. Who does it come from? Is it somebody from your past? Does it sound like your mother or your father or some teacher in school? Because it's very important to recognize that most of this judgment that you've been applying onto yourself might not be even yours. It might be a learned behavior that you probably outgrown by now, and it's time to let it go. Another thing is practicing this self-kindness. So it's not a concept. Think about how you treat your dear friend. Then offer that same compassion to yourself, right? We often talk to ourselves inside our heads the way we would never talk to our best friend, ever. That we would think, oh my God, this is so mean, this is so cruel, I would never say that to my friend. Well, then why are you saying it to yourself? So make sure that you realign that, because habits are everything. If it's not habitual, it takes so much effort to make something happen. So if you don't practice self-love daily, like in every moment as much as possible, it remains this elusive concept instead of a lived-in experience. That's why it's so important to apply this. And here's a quick tip for you. If it feels hard to apply this onto your everyday life, check out my free self-love challenge. It's 5 days where you get mini videos, 5 minutes each video, that teaches you to focus on a specific thing every day, kind of to get into the habit for 5 days. So pretty much for a week, you practice that and apply that, and then you can continue that on your own. It's practical soul nurturing lessons that help you deepen your connection to self-love. So the link to that is in the notes as well. Check it out. It's free, and it's going to give you little moments of connection to that energy and cleaning up whatever it might be in the way. All right, this brings us to the step 3 of embodying the unconditional love in your body, in your life, in your everyday perception. Step 3 is shifting from separation to connectedness. Have you ever felt like you're too much? Everybody's telling you like, oh, you're too much, you want too much, you're too loud, you're too excited, you're too dressed up, you're too something. Or the other way, you're too little, you're not enough, there's something wrong with you. Any of these extremes, it's like standing outside looking in, and no matter how hard you try to belong, it doesn't work because you're trying to measure yourself by something from the outside of you. You might feel like, oh, I always get rejected, or oh, I'm too different to fit in. Does that sound familiar? I hear that so often from my clients when they start working with me, especially in Transcension School and Transcension Gate, that the energy of I'm too different, and because of it, I don't belong, and then feeling like, oh, I don't know how to feel loved. These is all connected dots that are actually conditional, not unconditional. That is part of the entrapment in the old belief system that is outdated, and you've outgrown it if you're listening to me right now. So the biggest misconception here is thinking that belonging comes from the outside, as if to belong, you have to be approved by the tribe somehow. And then I feel like I belong because the tribe said that I belong. Tribe accepted me. That is one of the biggest blocks that there is. It's mistaking external validation for real belonging. Belonging starts with reconnecting to the source energy, to your soul mission, at least seeking those answers, even if you don't have them yet. That's where the true belonging actually begins. When you anchor into that vertical belonging, the horizontal stuff, like people, groups, fitting in, becomes less about proving yourself and more about sharing yourself with the community. See the difference there? When you anchor in the vertical belonging, this is between you and your soul, you and the higher frequencies of your soul mission, then all this horizontal stuff, like people, groups, and fitting in, becomes less important because it's not anymore about proving yourself. It's now about sharing what you have downloaded vertically with the community. It's a very different perspective, and it's a paradigm shift. If you can just get that, that would change your life. Vertical belonging, belonging to yourself, to your soul, to your spiritual family, to your soul mission on earth, all those things that are vertical, they facilitate embodying unconditional love frequency permanently. Here's how you can start shifting this perception. First, reframe belonging for yourself. You don't belong because others said so, okay? You belong because you are the part of the universe's grand design. You already belong in the universe. Nothing to earn, nothing to prove, convince anybody, or become something in order to be liked. Enoughness here is the key. So just get that perspective first. Then it's visualizing that connection. So this is the practice part. Picturing yourself as a star in a vast constellation of the universe, and each point is unique but integral component of the whole. Think of it like a hologram. You are the fractal of the human hologram that has a unique perception that matters deeply to the whole. And everybody are part of this human hologram here on Earth. So this is a different way of thinking of yourself that doesn't make you feel like, oh, well, I'm either nothing or I'm better than somebody. It's like, no, we are all unique and different. We all have different missions, different value based on what the community needs. But internally, it's the same divine value based on what universe is looking from us by us having that unique perception. And another piece here is focusing on the vertical all the time, retraining yourself to stop looking horizontally at your life. So spend a few moments each day tuning into the connection with source, with your higher self. Remind yourself of that interconnectedness with all life, with humanity, with starseed community of light workers, with quantum origin of you, whatever it is that you feel is your source, whether it's a nature or maybe it's a meaningful interaction with someone or even a quiet reflection. Give yourself these moments when you remind yourself that you are part of the holographic design. One thing here to watch for is confusing connectedness with oneness. I get this question asked a lot because those are a little different concepts. When people think like, oh, that means I should just go into oneness and then everything is okay. But then how do you live your physical life? Like, we are here in a physical body. I am not about teaching you how to escape this reality into some la la land. That is not what I'm about. What I teach is self-mastery, how to masterfully live here, because mastery creates agency. You become a sovereign authority with which you can actually be a leader here on this planet in the physical body. You can create abundance. You can create amazing experiences for yourself and share that with others. So it's not about escaping here, which is where this dilemma between connectedness and oneness comes in. So I might as well clarify this here. Oneness is merging. So this is losing sovereign self in the process. You become homogeneous. State of oneness is something that your ultimate soul aspect is always in, because it's sort of always merged with God source. But you, as the identity, as the individualized point, if you try to become that oneness, you actually dissolve yourself. Now, if that's your goal, okay, but then I'm probably not your teacher, because what I teach is how to bring all that mastery and multidimensionality into this life so that you can make impact here, so that you can learn and enjoy and share the goodness, the wisdom here, and help advance humanity as well. So if that is something that you want, then what you're looking for is not so much oneness, that is sort of natural state of our soul self anyway, but connectedness. Connectedness lets you keep that individuality, that sovereign being that you are, while you are connected to the greater whole. So think of it like being the holographic piece when you are an individuated piece, but you're also the holographic everything at the same time. That is connectedness. So that's kind of more of what we're aiming for here in order to experience unconditional love while still being an individualized self. Okay, so both aspects are valid, but for day-to-day life, connectedness is practical. Oneness is not. So it's about feeling interwoven with the bigger picture while staying fully and beautifully you. That way you do not erase yourself. You actually empower yourself to shine brightly with all the love of the universe that can come through your being. So now we are going to go into the step 4 of embodying unconditional love. That is using love as the fluid nourishment. Okay, this is a really cool step. When life gets hard, most people fall into two camps. They either push through with sheer willpower, or they go the other side, they retreat into avoidance, and all sorts of sabotaging patterns show up. Both actually leave you drained instead of loved and supported and nourished. The misconception here is that love is something you give and receive. Instead, love is something you live in. It just is. You don't give it, you don't receive it. You are it if you align with that energy and embody it. How awesome is that? Unconditional love just exists in the universe. Think of it like a type of frequency that interpenetrates everything, like a radio station, and one can tune into it and hear the frequency, like experience it or not. And it's actually up to us and the personal self-mastery, like how much you can navigate your own energy system consciously to calibrate yourself to vibrate with that frequency. The more you can do so, the more unconditional love you can experience. But it's something that just is here, and all you're doing essentially is tuning your antenna to receive the vibration from that radio station that the universe is broadcasting. It's always here. It's always available for you, like a fuel for your well-being, for your vitality, for your joy, for pleasure of being alive, for this juiciness of experience of aliveness and vitality in every moment of your life and in every circumstance, no matter what it is. The more you allow that support to nourish you, the more resilient you become, the more energy you actually have. The key point here is allow yourself to experience it. Unconditional love is universal. It's right here waiting for you at every moment. It's up to you if you allow it in, if you let your antenna pick up that frequency or not. Because if you have all these things about, I'm not good enough, I need to fix this in me before I can, and whatever, all the things we covered in the previous sections here of what I was saying, then that actually kind of not allowing you to tune into the very frequency you're trying to become accustomed to. So how do we do this? Here is how. Visualize support and nourishment. Visual imagery, always helpful. So if you imagine gentle stream of this pinkish, pearlescent, fluid love flowing into you, replenishing your energy. Just give yourself a moment. Imagine this stream of energy. It's like a river that's smooth and a little bit airy and light, and it's pearlescent, and it has some white and shiny energy. It's so gentle. It's a little bit pinkish, and it's like a liquid love that's flowing into you everywhere. Let yourself breathe it in and out, so it goes through all of your body, through every cell in your body. That moment of connecting, breathing it in, and then letting it shine or nourish or interpenetrate every cell of your body. That reminds your body, okay, body, this is what we want to be calibrated to, because that's the frequency we want to live in. Another thing you can do here is to lean on that love vibration during the hard times. This is where most people actually forget to do it, but that is exactly the right time to do it. When stress hits, pause and breathe this loving energy, just like we did a moment ago, letting it remind you that you are supported, letting you see that you are bigger than the current circumstance that happened to trigger you. Stress is also a frequency, but it's not as strong as the divine love frequency. So your job is to master your focus, what you're choosing to pay attention to. When it comes to stress, what do you focus on? The trigger or the love that is available to you right now in exactly the same moment. Think of it like stress is a frequency, like a radio station, and you're tuning into it, you got triggered. If in that moment you remind yourself, tune into that beautiful pearlescent light like a river, let it flush through you in and out. You just recalibrated. You just switched your focus to a different frequency. Doing that habitually will help you go through any circumstance with ease and grace while feeling supported and nourished, which I know is what you're looking to experience. Also, look for small sparks of that energy in your daily life. Notice small moments that radiate love. A kind gesture, and maybe some beautiful sunset that you saw, or a comforting thought that arrived, or a sound, maybe a song that came up at the right time. It's tempting to think that life is this grand movie and everything is big and all our big decisions matters and big intentions, but really life is a string of small moments put together. And if you make every moment count consciously and support you, you will have an amazing life. Small, amazing moments. And it's up to you if you allow yourself to notice these tiny moments in your life. Moments of joy, moments of love, moments of connectedness and belonging, or not. They are there. Believe me, everybody has good moments. So if you choose to focus on that, if you do, you're anchoring this unconditional love in your everyday life and making it a habit, which is what we want. All right, so now let's look at the things to watch out for. Using love to escape is one of them. So we talked a little bit about that with oneness energy. It's so tempting to just escape into this la la land of illusion when everything is light, everything is love, and we all coexist in this beautiful flow, and how amazing it is. Everybody's happy, and I know the earth is not this right now, but I'm just going to sit and pretend that it is because there's some, I don't know, other dimension when everybody's happy. This place is fantasy, and it actually just a sort of subconscious childlike strategy to avoid triggers. It doesn't solve anything. It just takes you into a place where trigger doesn't exist instead of helping you become masterful in handling the trigger. And we live in a third dimension. We live here. So our job as we come into the body is to make this reality an incredible place for ourselves that is harmonious and aligned, and help others do so, not to escape it as if this is some sort of a jail and you can't wait to go home somewhere else into the magic la la land. Unconditional love is not about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them with grace and courage. It's about feeling the pain of separation while choosing to feel oneness of source and connectedness of all life. Unconditional love is not a luxury. It's like your fuel. Think of it like that. It's something that fuels you. Love nourishes you and keeps you going, keeps you moving forward. All right, that brings us to the step 5 of embodying unconditional love. That is grounding this divine love in 3D reality. You might be thinking, sure, this love stuff is great, but still, I don't really feel it for myself. It's just something people talk about. Or maybe you expect that if you felt it, it would be this grand rapture and, oh my God, everything just going to be absolutely divinely amazing. And you don't realize that it's actually much smaller of an experience in an everyday moment. So if your system is expecting this grand something, maybe you're thinking, oh, well, if I practice stepping into unconditional love states during my meditations, that is good, but then why doesn't it seem to translate into my everyday life? Like I can be okay in a meditation, but then I get triggered all over as soon as I'm in a regular life. Well, let's look at that. All of this has to do with not bringing that energy into the third dimension here. The misconception here is separating spiritual energy from practical life. They are not separate. They are partners. Spirituality and practical material life here are interwoven together. This is part of being incarnate in a form in 3D. Okay? Magic happens when you let divine love flow through your actions, your choices, your beliefs, and all your relationships. Automatically becomes your way of living. Think about it. If you believed that you are truly loved, would you act differently? Perhaps stop wasting energy on proving yourself? Or overgiving, hoping that somehow you will get something from that? Would you yell at yourself, or would you stop treating yourself badly inside your mind? Would you choose to see yourself as worthy? Maybe ask for that promotion, or raise your rates if you're an entrepreneur, or draw that boundary in relationship with somebody. Would you choose to see yourself as worthy of a boundary? Would you feel more worthy of being treated well by your partner and ask for it? Maybe pause before reacting from negativity and be more generous in your interactions, more sovereign perhaps? Would you speak your mind more maybe? It's not about escaping in some higher dimensions. It's about bringing that multidimensionality here into your everyday life so that you expand your range. Not go there, then kind of like drop here for a bit and then go back up to some la la land. No, we want to unite all the hologram inside our perception and anchor it here in the third dimension. That is awesome state of transcension. This is where you actually feel alive and masterful and you have agency to act with in your life. And you feel powerful and loving and supported and nourished. So think of it like this. I am not alone in this universe. Universe is with me all the time, or whatever you believe in the higher power. If it's not universe for you, maybe it's your soul, your guides, your ancestral spirits, God source, like whatever the bigger thing is. It's rooting for you in every moment. It's here. It's not judging you. It's loving you. It's supporting you. It's holding you in light and seeing you as this expression of divinity, as the singularity of the uniqueness and brightness of love of God's source, no matter how flawed you think you might be. That is not what the universe sees. It sees the brilliance and beauty of you. First is acting from love. Before taking any action, making any decision, ask yourself, what would love do here? If I was the eyes of the universe, the loving eyes of God's source, how would I see this situation? If I was seen by God's source as a bringer of its love to earth, what would be my action? See how that's a very different way of looking at it? Also balance being and doing in your life. So acting from love versus reacting from your issues. Use this energy of love to fuel purposeful action. Not something that's just like blowing off steam, but purposeful. Most often your action is not of free will. It's more of a reaction to a trigger. And universe doesn't test you. It reflects you. So if you are given something to react to, chances are it's something that you need to actually learn through. That is the only reason it's there in the first place. So stepping into that unconditional love and acting only from that place allows you to decode the lesson because you stepping out of your own way. Now you can decode the lesson and act from love in all times. That would be responding instead of reacting. And also integrating unconditional love with your soul mission. Let this energy amplify your growth, guide your lessons, elevate your contribution to the world, how you are choosing to contribute to the human collective. Whether you're creating or healing or simply navigating life, let love show you the way. And I know it sounds kind of corny, but we're talking about the fifth dimensional unconditional love frequency that is the natural vibratory state of your birthright. If you are in that vibration, and it is what guides every action you take, OMG, you have an incredible life experience in every moment. Instead of striving to prove yourself or fix mistakes or save others, focus on infusing this unconditional love into the dualistic world. That is part of our mission here. What to watch out for in this one is staying in bliss to avoid action. A huge challenge, I know. Many starseeds, many light workers believe that the world is not ready somehow for what they have to offer. This beautiful energy is just too different. They are experiencing feelings of rejection, disconnection, and betrayal even by humanity because of that. All of that is actually your thing to master. If you're having those feelings, that just means, okay, you got some karmic stuff to clean up. But the real issue here is ungroundedness, okay? your higher awareness of oneness hasn't fully anchored in 3D reality and became connectedness. Instead, you're still trying to escape into oneness, like some memory of the beautiful place. And then down here, everything dualistically feels bad. But if you step into connectedness energy, now you're bridging the two. Without embodying unconditional love, you remain disconnected and don't take action in a material world that actually you're here to bring to the world, to share with humanity. You are here to channel love and make the impact through that higher, more harmonious frequency for humanity. But to be an effective channel, you must remain open on both ends, right? That's what channel is. It's like an open pipe. So if you are open to spiritually higher realms and physicality through your body, now you're a full channel and the energy can flow through you. That's what we're after. You don't want to close the bottom just because you don't like it here. You only don't like it because you haven't grounded this beautiful energy from higher frequencies and other dimensions into your material life. That's what will allow you to experience this reality in a very different way that is much more harmonious and kind to you, including your body, your emotional states, and your mind. If you want to live your soul mission here on earth, it's all about the embodiment. It's not about conceptualizing. It's not about doing something perfect that's going to change humanity. You are the vibratory point of reference for humanity. So if you are vibrating in a frequency, and it all starts with this unconditional love, then you are starting to live your mission correctly. Feeling this divine energy every day is part of the journey. You must live that energy in your life. So it's not just a feeling, not just a thought, but it's an actual experience, and you're mastering how you incorporating it into your life. Let it guide your actions, shape your choices, transform how you show up to the world. That would make a big difference. So what do you need to do right now? First of all, congratulations. Going through this whole training, and we uncovered 5 powerful steps here to help you embody unconditional love, which will totally help you transform your life. So let's recap. What did we do? Step 1 was connecting to divine love frequency. Step 2 was embracing self-worth and acceptance. Step 3 was shifting from separation to connectedness. Step 4 was using love as the fluid nourishment. And step 5 was grounding that unconditional divine love energy in the 3rd dimension, in your material life. But let's be honest, knowing all these steps is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you actually integrate that energy into your everyday life. When it's not a concept, when it's not something that, okay, I read this article or I listened to this podcast or I watched this video and then I forgot about it because, oh, it would be nice to have. This unconditional love frequency is a foundation for your personal mastery. It is literally something that you need to have mastered as a frequency you can tune into on choice, on demand, in order to then add to it everything else, like your sovereignty, like being a higher self authority, like being a masterful soul self in your life, like living your soul mission. All those things come on top of learning how to live in this embodied unconditional love energy. This is why I created the love alchemy meditations, because I know it's hard to do on your own, and I just gave you little samples here of the frequency, but imagine you can actually be calibrated to that vibration by hearing it, by vibrating with imagery, by vibrating with the experience that you are stepping into through a guided visualization. These 10 guided meditations take all the guesswork out of what do I focus on? How do I tune into this energy? They make it fun as well, because I give you very different scenarios that are really interesting and unusual as to how you can tune into that frequency, find it for yourself, and embody unconditional love so you can actually receive it and feel amazing swimming in this beautiful love energy. It's like a direct line to frequency of unconditional love. And all you got got to do is write it. Listen to my voice guiding you. You go into the Theta brain wave. So your brain is actually being calibrated in your subconscious. You don't even have to think about it. You get binaural rhythms that are calibrating your entire body and your nervous system. You get musical patterns that are giving you the emotional and astral experiences. And just like that, all of this takes you into this beautiful state of a correct vibration, correct attunement to experience those energies. So these meditations will help you reprogram your subconscious to release limiting beliefs and karmic patterns. They also help you align fully to your inherent self-worth and divine connection of who you actually are. They help you cultivate deep clarity, self-love, resilience, energy, even in the hardest moments. Like if you embody that energy, you can go through anything and still feel harmonious, which is amazing state of self-mastery, right? Also, by practicing these meditations, you make it easy and fun for yourself to play with the energies of unconditional love. You kind of train your body to be in that love energy all the time. Think about it like any exercise, right? If you just think about it, nothing happens to your body. If you start doing it, okay, you kind of like not sure what you're doing it, whatever. But if you have somebody trains you how to do it, you progress quickly and it becomes second nature. You can move like that. You know what you're doing. That is exactly what you get in those love alchemy meditations. So imagine having a tool that helps you feel anchored and nourished and supported. No matter what life throws at you, you know how to handle that. Wouldn't that be amazing? That is exactly why I created these meditations for you guys. So many of my clients use them every day. They swear that this is something that helped them so much to become more masterful in their life because they got that foundational component and they go back to it sometimes years later because it's like, oh yeah, I need to refresh that frequency. So they go back, re-listen to it, and their body remembers. It's an incredible experience. And I want that for you as well. In the notes, there is the link to the Love Alchemy meditations. Definitely get those and practice them. That will help you tremendously. These meditations are your bridge between the spiritual and the practical, just like we were talking about, giving you the strength to embody the unconditional love energy in every area of your life, to calibrate your body so that frequency is something easy to find, easy to click into, and it becomes habitual for you. Be love. Be free. Be God. My love to you.